Hey folks, K1GMM Steve here in Vermont, and doesn't look like we have anybody watching because everybody's working, which is a good thing. I figured I'd just, what happened to my chat? Restore chat. Yeah, there we go. Whoa. Just in case I need the chat, so let's close this. And we're going to get right to it. I figured I'd do this instead of rendering a video. Hopefully the audio is okay. Been thinking about doing a video on how to get digital modes running on the Apache, on the Anan. I've never done it before. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, I'm not using VB audio cables or anything. However, I am using Chiquita Banana. Voicemeeter Banana. So I'm going to show you how to configure everything start to finish. If you have an Apache lab, it requires one hard connection between your external sound card. Now this is done with an external sound card. This is the only way I know how to do it, or how I've tried to do it and actually made it work. I haven't tried any other way, and I know there's other ways to do it, but I'm going to just show you how I got it to work. So you will need one hard connection cable coming out of the back of your external sound card into your computer sound card, into a line in. And I'll show you exactly how I do it. So what I use is a splitter. This is the sound card right here, ZM Audio 192.4. This is a 1/4 inch splitter that comes out the back. All right, so I come out, one cable goes to my speakers, one side of the speakers. You don't need both sides, just one side. One cable comes out to the speakers, the other side of the splitter comes out to the line in. So this is a 1/4 inch mono to a 3.5 TRS line into the back of the computer. Set that to line in, set your levels, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Billy, how's it going? Great to see you, buddy. Anyways, so from that point, that is the only connection that needs to be made to the computer. All right, assuming you have your sound card set up and everything else. So let's get over to the other screen. I'll show you how I have Voicemeeter Banana configured. Now you can go online, just type in Voicemeeter Banana, download it, install it. I'm going to show you how to configure it. Ignore this right here. This is my microphone piping audio to Cakewalk, which is for processing, and that goes to the also sends audio to OBS and to the SDRs. Irrelevant. Pay no attention to that. All right, so let me show you how to get the digital modes running on the Apache. So, hard connection has been made. Download and install Voicemeeter Banana. First thing you want to do is you want to set up your sound card. So go up here to A1, and if whatever sound card you're using, external sound card, you want it set to this, A1. So mine is M Audio Air 192.4 ASIO. All right, make sure that's set there. And of course, this is my microphone, so this is irrelevant. I covered that in another video, and it's also up on the ESSB website. All right, if you want to go down the audio route for your microphone, but I'm showing you just how to get the radio running, okay, with JTDX software. All right, so once that is done, let's jump over. That's the important thing. If you want to go up to menu, settings, and you'll be able to see your, let's see, was it settings? Buffer set to 128 on this. Mine just seems to work good there. These are all your different bufferings. You can set these accordingly. As you can see, a couple of my defaults are different because I wanted less latency. A quick explanation about these numbers right here. The buffering the higher the number, the more stable it will be, but the higher the latency. In other words, the delay in the audio. So you may have to fuss with these to get the right settings. Preferred main sample rate 48 kilohertz. Yours may be different. Make sure it's set to float 32 LSB. All right, sample rate again 48 kilohertz. And patch SAO inputs to strips, I have 1 and 1. I don't know if it works either way, but I saw that on a video, so I just do it. I don't think you need to do that. Anyways, that's it. If you have any stuttering or any issues like that, distortion, then you can adjust it's most likely the buffering in here needs to be changed or increased. The buffers need to be increased. And that will take out the stuttering, but you will get a little bit more latency. So that's done. That's all there is to it there. So now you have to set your radio up to communicate with Voicemeeter VAIO, virtual ASIO, Voicemeeter virtual ASIO. That's under the virtual inputs right here. So you need to set up your rig to communicate with that. All right, so let's go over to the radio, and we will get need to pull that back onto the screen. There we go. Okay, under setup in the Anan, go to audio. This is, again, assuming you're running on VAC. All right. I use VAC on all my SDRs. I keep it all in the virtual realm. So you want to set your VAC to ASIO, and you want to point the input and output to Voicemeeter virtual ASIO. Okay. And once that's done, click apply, click OK. And then what you can do, my AGC is slammed all the way closed. Well, let me walk you through a couple things on the Anan first. The noise reduction, not sure if you want to run that or not. I run it on NR2 on FT8. Of course, choose your band in your mode. You'll see right here over on the right-hand side, DIGU, D-I-G-U, that's digital upper sideband. Dig-L is lower sideband. Obviously, you want it on upper sideband, depending on the bands you want or what you're doing. I'm on 30 meters currently. So that is pretty much it. I set my bandwidth to 3 kilohertz over down here on the right-hand side. And if for some reason you see signals outside of that 3 kilohertz bandwidth, you can always adjust the width by clicking here. And you'll see these panels light up, so you can extend this out to like 3.6 kilohertz or whatever, depending on whether there's a contest going. I don't know how far they spread out, but that is a way you can do that. You can also just grab this slider and expand it out. And it will increase your RX bandwidth, your filter width right here. All right. You can see everything right here is within the 3 kilohertz spectrum. There's nothing outside of that width. Okay. Is there anything else? I use the AGC. I have the AGC closed down. So make sure everything's running. Bring your AGC up. Okay, so you can see the, let me go back to Voicemeeter Banana. Okay, this meter is moving right here. That's a good thing. That means it's communicating with Chiquita. So now remember this A1 that we set to your sound card. All right. This needs to be turned on. Make sure Voicemeeter VAIO is set to A1, and that is active. Just click this button, it'll go green. Now I have A2 turned on as well. And A2 I have set to MME speakers Realtek audio. Now remember, you can't share sound cards across multiple pieces of software. That's why you got to use something like Banana, right? So A2, go up here and set this to MME speakers Realtek Audio, or you could set it to WDM, whatever works best for you, and make sure A2 is turned on. All right, now that is done. So minimize this, and I will kill the audio on the Anan for now. Now we're going to look at the software, JTDX. Now you can go to, I will put the link in the description where to download this. This is the download page for JTDX. This is not affiliated with WSJTX, I don't believe. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Good to see you. And find your appropriate download for whatever operating system you're using right here. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and install it, and you are good to go. Again, I will post a link in the description so you can go grab this. Now, this does have a TCI interface, which is how the Sun, the Expert, runs, but I'm not going to get into that because we're dealing with the Anan right now. So what you want to do is you want to go up here to File, Settings, and I'm going to walk you through. Of course, you want to fill out all your information regarding your station and obviously call sign, grid square, blah, blah, blah. All right. All this, go through, fill all this out. Make sure you have, if you're into this, I have enable automatic logging of QSO, clear DX, call and grid after logging, clear DX and grid on exit. There may be other settings that you may want to put in here, but you know, have at it. Here's the enable PSK reporter spotting. DX Summit, I don't pay attention to that, but I have that activated as well. So if you want your signal to be picked up, not picked up, but actually reported to PSK reporter map, make sure this is checked. This is one of the great features of the JTX software. You can see where who you're hitting, where you're getting to, and you can watch as propagation changes where you're being picked up. All right, once that's done and your call and everything else is put in, valuable information, go to radio. All right, now what I use, I'm running an Anan 200D. Of course, actually, you know what? Before we go to radio, this is important. You want to make sure OmniRig. Most likely you have OmniRig installed. I'm not going to take anything for granted. Okay, here's OmniRig. Rig type, I have TS2000 in here. Not a problem. It works anyways, even though I have the JTDX settings set to TS480. It doesn't care. Now you'll notice I have COM6. Now, of course, the Anan, it does not have an actual COM port because it runs through the LAN connection. So you will need something like COM0COM or virtual serial port emulator. This is the, let me pop this up here. Okay, so here are my virtual serial port pair I created for the Anan. Now the Anan is sitting on COM5 and the software looks at COM6. So you have to set that in the Anan. All right, anybody who's playing with the Anan, you should know this anyways. Not gonna, but you will need a serial port emulator because you have to create a serial port pair. You have to create virtual serial ports, one for the Anan, one for the software for them to actually communicate because there are no ports. So make sure you do that. COM0COM or a virtual serial port emulator. I use VSP, been using it for a few years now. It works great. All right, that being said, all right, make sure your OmniRig is configured properly. If your logbook is connected to your Anan, use the exact same setup as what's in your logbook in JTDX. All right, so that's what my OmniRig settings look like. All right, so that's fine. All right, radio, I selected TS480, COM6, baud rate 4800. Cat is set on COM6. All right, you can look through here, data bits default, stop bits default, handshake default, mode split operation none, transmit audio source front stroke mic. All right, that's how mine is configured, and it works. All right, now we get to the audio. Now we got to tell it where to grab the audio from. So what you want to do is you want to set your output to Voicemeeter auxiliary input. VB audio Voicemeeter aux, VAIO. All right, that's the output. The input, remember, we took the hard line out of the back of the sound card and plugged that into the line in of the computer sound card. That's a line in. So you want to select that. That's running on the Realtek card in the computer. So you want to make sure line in Realtek is selected in there. Okay. I have both mine set to mono. Once that's done, click OK. Now, if for some reason your make sure your radio is running. If your VFO does not light up, I'll show you what to do. Go to File, back to File, Settings, Radio. Okay, you can test cat. Click this button once you have this all configured. Okay, that lights up green. That's a good thing. And you can test the PTT. So what I will do is I will bring this over to this screen and we'll watch the radio. Okay, what you want to do is you want to watch for ALC up here on your meter. Set your signal, mic selection, and you want to check the ALC. All right. So when I test PTT, make sure your drive level is something reasonable. Don't hit it with make sure you're tuned, because this will go into transmit. So what I'll do is I'll put this in a dummy load right now and test PTT. It's not working. Not working. So that's what you want to find out. So the cat is working, but the audio is not. So go up here. So we will test it again. The VFO is active, and it is receiving the command. So, see if we can. It's probably Voicemeeter. So I'm going to hit it again. Actually, I'll back out of here. Let's go back to the other screen. Okay. So I'm going to hit the tune button, see if I got any ALC. Okay, no ALC. How incredibly disturbing. What is going on here? Okay, stand by for a moment. I'm going to close potato or banana. I'm going to reopen it. Banana can be quirky. Close it. Hold on, everybody. Everything's going to go dead. sure I've got audio coming through. Yep, we've got audio. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to test it quick. No, no audio. Don't you love it when you have something working and then it decides not to work? Holy crap. I wonder if I've got something messed up in here. Okay, output, audio, output. Output. I'm going to just test this quick, you guys. I don't want to blow your eardrums out. Okay, for some reason I had to toggle it in JTDX. Don't ask me. I suspect it's something to do with banana. Banana is quirky. All right. So if you look at banana, Voicemeeter aux. And then if you look at output, goes to Voicemeeter aux input, right? Now, remember the Anan. Let me go back here. Remember the Anan is set up to use virtual Voicemeeter ASIO, okay? And if you go into potato or banana, we've got Voicemeeter virtual ASIO. That's what this is right here. So what's happening is A2. I need to get rid of that. I had to toggle that, and now JTDX is spinning the audio output into Voicemeeter auxiliary input, aux via virtual ASIO, okay? Now, let's just bump it one more time. Yep, she's working. Oh, yeah. So if you go back to banana, so if that happens to you, go ahead and toggle that in JTDX. All right. Don't ask. I don't know why it does that. It's very quirky. But Voicemeeter aux is feeding that audio out. Remember, your Anan is set up to communicate with Voicemeeter virtual ASIO. And that's this strip right here. So you can see when the Anan goes into receive. Let me go back over to the other screen. So when I bring up the receive on the Anan, see how that's communicating right there? So that's what you want to see. And it was just a hiccup. All right. So, anyways. Jeez. All right, so let me show you a couple things. Word of warning. Using an analog line like that coming into the line in of the computer is not really the best way to do this. It does work, but there's a little bit of loss compared to keeping everything virtual, like if you went ahead and got some VB audio cables running. And there's a little bit of induced noise, which is kind of a problem to me. I have kind of an issue with that. Does it work? Yes, it will work. Like I said, there's probably other ways to do this, but that is exactly how I got it to work with what I had here. Now this, because you're using your line in to the computer coming out of your card to feed the audio to the FT8, right? Your receive audio. Remember, you cannot run the speakers with this setup. Well, you can, but it's going to be pretty loud. So let me pop over to the other camera. So this knob right here is your output. That's your speaker output, right? That's a line level out, and it feeds your speakers, your room speakers, your monitor speakers. You have to turn this up to get any signal into FT8 down in here. If that is turned all the way down, you ain't gonna get squat. So, you know, don't forget that. So that will set your level, and you can check your level right here over on the right hand side. So let me get rid of that. Anywhere from 60 to 80 is fine. You know, like I can turn this up a little bit. And I can bump that up to 80. So I'll get that turned back down. All right. So that is basically it in a nutshell. Don't be afraid to hit me with any questions. I will keep track of what's going on this video. I was just chatting with someone this morning. He was listening to a couple guys. One guy was ripping his hair out trying to get do a little figuring out how to go all zombie apocalypse with his Anan. Well, that's one way to do it. Software's free. You could probably use a different type of sound card. Yes, 30 meters. That's what I'm on right now. And yeah, that's it, folks. So I think I covered everything, but that was weird. I had it running last night, and I didn't put it into TX before I started streaming this, and I should have. All I had to do was toggle this setting right here in audio. I toggled this Voicemeeter aux input. I toggled that in and out, clicked OK, went back to it, put it back in place, hit OK, boom. Everything lit up, and she's all off and running. So let me pull this audio back up here. See if there's any decodes and see if I could actually get a contact. see if I can... See if I can find a place to sneak into here where there's nobody transmitting. I'm going to let it sit for a second. Throw out about 5 watts. Looks like there's a signal right there. Let it go through this cycle and see if, we'll throw out a couple calls here, see if anybody comes back. All right, so that was basically, oh gosh, I didn't check my drive level. That was about 2 watts. So that probably ain't going to work. But anyways, that's it, guys. We'll catch you later. Like I said, probably better ways to do that, but there's always a way to skin that cat. At least get you on the digital modes. There's another piece of software, Crystal Audio Engine. May want to give that a shot as well. Much more, I can tell you that if you can make that work, that'll be much more stable than this Voicemeeter garbage, because this stuff is real crap. So anyways, we'll see y'all later. Have a nice day and good weekend coming up. I think Ohio QSO party is coming up this weekend. Woohoo! Score on that, baby. I'll be in there working that. Hopefully. Lord willing. 7-3 guys, K1GMM.